Which Donna?
Robbie, you know who Donna is.
Oh, no, I
Yeah,
don't know who Donna is.
Donna.
Yeah.
Oh, Donna. Oh, okay.
Donna, she comes here, I mean, you know.
Every now and again.
Well, she can't come out that much now.
Yeah. Well, welcome, Donna. Long time no see, and even now, no see. So.
All right. Well, let me go ahead and get started on the announcements. Welcome everybody. You know, in July, hopefully it's not storming too bad at your house right now, because we seem to be getting into our Florida pattern of weather again. Of those of you that didn't make it to our Friday night adventure into John Chestnut Park, you missed a great time. We had, I don't know, probably what, 20 people, Robert, or so?
Yeah, 20.
And we socially distanced, and we wore our mask, and we took a walk down the boardwalk, which took about an hour and a half, with all the stopping that we did, taking pictures, and you know, carried on like we normally do, and then met back at the picnic shelter, and some of us went out to dinner, and some went home. So we really had a good time. And if you looked at if you're on Facebook and you're not you haven't been to our club group page, then let me know, let Robert or I know, and we'll add you in there if you're on Facebook, and we can you'll see some of the pictures from there. Do you have some pictures, Robert, that you
I just wanted to just show the main picture.
Okay.
The main one.
The group picture?
Yeah.
Yep, yeah. There it is.
Hey.
There we are.
Ah.
And that was one Jack Maniscalco took that for us. Even though he didn't go and kneel in front of the group. So we were all masked up, as you can see. It was a little hot, but we survived.
So yeah, that's Jack, I hope you're okay with me doing that.
Oh yeah, you can go ahead and put it in the Tampa Tribune while you're at it too.
Okay.
It no longer exists.
Oh, there went my chance.
Oh, well.
So there you go.
Yes,
I had a great time.
Yep, we all did. Okay, so the assignment this week or this month was Hometown Pride. The assignment for next month is abstract, and basically that's an image where you can't immediately know what the picture is. So it's done in an artistic way. So keep that in mind when you're shooting, and then hopefully we'll see a few of those next month. Next week we have our technical night next Friday night, and that this month is going to be Jim, and he's going to be talking about Lightroom Classic versus Lightroom Cloud. He's going to tell us mostly about Lightroom Cloud, which if you have a subscription to Creative Cloud from Adobe, you actually have two different Lightrooms on your computer. One is Lightroom Classic, the other is Lightroom Cloud. And they were kind of hard to tell apart before because they kind of symbolize them the same way with the LR. Now it's LRC for Classic and LR for Lightroom Cloud. So, and there's actually a third one, Lightroom Mobile, but we're not going to get into that this time. We're just going to do Classic and Cloud. So that is for next week, next week. In the next 2 months, technical nights, we've set up some outside speakers to come in. In August, Jack was able to get Steve Gettle to come in, and let me share my screen and I'll show you a little bit from them. Here's some of Steve Gettle's stuff. He is a wildlife and nature photographer, and he's going to be talking to us about what was the title of the talk, Jack? Basically, he's going to talk about animals that are moving, and I guess like birds flying and stuff like that. So, and stuff that's moving, not just standing still like a bird on a stick. So it's more about animals that are moving. Then in September, we're going to have Colleen Muniak, who is a landscape photographer. And here's some of her images. She shoots a lot up in Maine and Acadia National Park, as you can see here from her advertisement. She is a big, she does a lot of education, and she is going to talk to us about the, let's see, how do you put it? Human perception and composition. So we're gonna go back a little bit to basics, but I listened to her talk from out of Chicago, and it was really very interesting the way she talked about these basic things that we all have to concern ourselves when we're shooting. So she will be talking to us on Technical Night in September. We're still working on somebody for October, and then that'll be it for Technical Nights for the rest of the month, for the rest of the year. So we'll let you know as soon as we have somebody set up for October. Jim, do you have any announcements?
Nothing off the top of my head right now. Karen, did you find the chat? You want to send me a test chat so we can get your scores?
Yep, I'm there.
And Robert, do you have any announcements?
No, other than thank you everybody for attending. That's, man, that made my night, day, week, month, and part of my year.
And we may do something like that again, you know, in the near future. We'll let you know if we come up with something. So be on the lookout. You know, we'll announce it. I'll let everybody know. Jim, anybody else have any announcements or any questions or comments?
I have a comment.
Sure.
I also really enjoyed Friday night. It was well conceived. You know, we social distanced, we wore the masks, we did it outside, and we hiked in small groups, and we did everything right. And I really enjoy the time I spend with you people. I enjoy these Zoom meetings, and I'm concerned about your health. And I was disappointed that so many of you decided to go to an indoor restaurant and eat afterwards where you couldn't possibly be wearing masks. It was the first time in my 8 years in the club that I remember declining to go to a meal after an event because I knew it was ill-conceived. And I was concerned enough about you that I drove past the restaurant and I saw it was a small hole-in-the-wall strip mall restaurant. And you know, you're adults and you can do what you want, but I felt guilty for not saying something at the time. And I just wanted to voice my concern for your well-being.
Thank you very much
Well,
for that.
let's tell you, we can tell you one thing though, Brian. We wore our masks until the food came. And once we finished eating, we put them back on.
Yep.
And didn't
We were basically the only ones in the restaurant too, other than the chef and the waitress. So I think there was only 3 other people in the restaurant the whole time we were there. I think we made their night, basically.
and didn't do a whole lot of talking without our masks on.
Yep.
So we were careful.
Yeah.
I do appreciate your concern though. That's great. Hold on.
You're so bad. You're so bad.
Sorry. Can't help myself.
Hey, now that he's brought that up, I had a thought and I wondered about it. You know, Christmas is coming and how we always have a party. What if we had one outside? Could we have one outside in the parking lot and wear our masks and everything?
Well, there is a place right downstairs on the backside.
Anyway, something to think about.
Yeah.
We'd
Yeah,
have to
it
do a
just depends
little.
on, you know, that time of year, it's not exactly warm out sometimes. So.
Oh, I have an idea. You guys can drink using a straw and still wear a mask.
Yeah.
So you put the straw underneath the mask and you can still have it on.
That
As long as you don't eat, you could just drink with the mask on.
That would require us to have a giant food processor.
I saw
Robert.
a new mask on the internet where it had a zipper across the mouth part so that you could drink, put your straw in, and not take your mask off.
Right.
Hey, Robert.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Robert, this would
Yes,
be
sir.
a perfect idea to introduce your dreadlock face mask idea.
Oh yeah.
See, we're going to take Robert's dreadlocks and make a face mask out of them. Totally organic. See?
And he's never without a face mask because he's
It
always.
works, you know? A straw would fit through that perfectly.
You knew one day those were going to come in handy, Robert.
There you go.
This could
All
work.
right. Well, let's move on to the competition. Go ahead, Jim.
Karen, did you send a test message to me yet? Because I don't see anything.
Oh, I didn't know you wanted one.
Okay, good. Got it.
Okay.
Oh, I got it too. Oh,
Oh.
Wait a minute. I think we all got it. Oh, just kidding, Karen. Just kidding. Just kidding.
I like you, Robert.
Not after tonight, you won't.
I don't have to any position.
All
Hey,
right.
Victoria,
I made it finally.
you're in the dark.
Let's see.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I am in the dark.
I don't see Victoria. Where
There
is
she is. She was in the dark like you, the last.
Okay, there we go.
All right. You guys see that?
Yep.
Okay. And remember, when I have to switch over to the spreadsheet and enter scores, it will jump from full screen to small screen. So that's just the way it is.
Just get rid of your side panels, please.
Yeah, well, I'm going to go to full screen anyway.
Okay.
Yeah, but first image up in the assigned category is balancing act. Oh, and I'm going to have to do something with my screens here. Bear with me for a minute. All right, I'm set up on my end. You haven't scored anything yet. You haven't entered a score yet, have you, Karen? Okay. All right. Now I got it. Score is 23. That's an award for Doris. Next image is In the Giving Spirit. Hey guys, I'm just gonna have to leave it like this because I got too much screen jumping around I have to do to get scores. If you guys are okay with it being like that.
We're good with it.
All right.
Karen, are you able to see okay?
Yep.
Okay, good.
That's 23. That's an award for Lee. Hanging with the Grinch. .22, honorable mention for Lee. Julian B. Lane Riverfront Park. 23, that's an award for Brian Schneider. Quiet Swan Lake. '22, that's an award for Fong. I'm going to call this My Hometown. '21, that's an honorable mention for Fong. Tampa City Hall on 4th of July. '22, honorable mention for Jim McWilliam. Welcome to Tampa. '21, honorable mention for Jim McWilliam. Carneytown. '21, honorable mention for Karen. Southern Pride. '21, honorable mention for Karen. 7/4/2020. '22, honorable mention for Lee Wen. Hometown Laurel, Mississippi. '21, honorable mention for Judy Lane. Restoration underway of Ebor's last cigar factory, El Relo, 1910. I got the correction. '22, honorable mention for Jack. Source of downtown Tampa development. Yesterday right, today left, and tomorrow center. 22, honorable mention for Jack. And last image in assigned. Tarpon Springs Sponge Diver. '22, honorable mention for Jim Hagan. All right, that's it for assigned. You want to go through general and then have a break before the critique?
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay. All right, in general category now, caught in the act. '22, honorable mention for Doris. Keeping watch. '21, honorable mention for Doris. Laurel Street Bridge on a rainy morning. '22, that's an award for Brian Schneider. Sykes Chapel and Center for Faith and Values.
What was that title again, please, Jim?
It's right here if you want to read it too. It says Sykes Chapel and Center for Faith and Values.
Okay.
'22, award for Brian Schneider. Music rhythm. '22, an award for Fong. Fishing in the time of COVID. Oh, sorry guys. That's 22, honorable mention for Lee. The Glow. '23, that's an award for Lynn. Summer Lily Infrared. It's 22. That's an award for Fong. Forest Reflections. $23. That's an award for Lynn. Old Tree. $22. Honorable mention for Susan. Fertility and Passion. $23. It's an award for Jack. Blue Pearl Beach. $23. That's an award for Brian Condis. Giant Flamingo, Altered Reality. $22. It's an award for Brian Condis. Moon in Clouds. $22. It's an honorable mention for Jim Hagan. Early Morning Fishing. $23. It's an award for Lee Wen. Love Our Newborn. $23. That's an award for Lee Wen. Morning Sun. $23. That's an award for Susan. Rose on Fire. 22, honorable mention for Jim Hagan. And that's all the images.
The least we've had in a long time.
Say again?
So I think that's the least we've had in a long time, other than, you know, our first Zoom meeting, which we
Right.
kept it
Mhm.
low on purpose.
Well, it's July.
I know. With
July.
out there.
So yeah,
Everybody-
we can give people a little break and come back for critique in a few minutes.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. You want to say at 7:40, which is 6 minutes from now?
Sounds
Right.
good.
Okay, 7:40. Oh, I thought you said to say it.
Lee, are you close to home?
Oh, no, not yet.
Yeah.
Oh, and I have to ask Fong something while you're online here, Fong, because I realized as we went through those that you entered one more image than you're allowed to enter. I need to take one out. Which one do you want to take out?
Before you said black, white can do, so I misunderstanding. Before we can, yeah.
You're allowed to put in 3, you put in 4, so I have to take one of
Yeah,
yours.
it's black, white is include. Yeah, just
So,
take
yeah, 3 images total.
okay. Just take my hometown. Take this, my husband and me.
Take that one out? Okay. Okay, got it.
If anybody's interested, I went by Eureka Springs Park yesterday, and the water lilies are still blooming. So if anybody wants to go shoot them, they're, you know, the best time is in the morning. They close up in the afternoon. So
Which park?
They,
Eureka Springs.
yeah, they not only close up, they flop over, don't they?
Yeah. Yeah, and they had a big tree fall down in the storm the day before. And it fell in the water where the, near where the, well, some of the water lilies, where some of the water lilies are, but they cut it, well, just before I got there, they had finished cutting it up, and it was a huge tree. But hopefully the water will, because they had to get in the water, I guess, to cut the tree up. And the water was pretty muddy, but I'm sure it'll settle down after a few days. So.
I got a nice shot there last year of the water lilies when I was there one day.
Well, they have, you know, they have white ones and they have pink ones. They have dark pink ones and light pink ones. They don't have as much variety as like McKee Gardens over on Vero Beach, but it's still a nice, you know, it's close, and they have, you know, there's enough of them, and they're, you know, some of them are partially open, some of them are all the way open, and they're pretty close to the shore, so you can you know, see them pretty easily, even without a really long lens. So.
What time of the morning?
No later than 10:30, 11 o'clock. I went there one afternoon at 1, and they were already closed. So, but, and then there's a greenhouse that has some orchids in it and some ferns and stuff like that. And then there's a few other flowers around. And then there's a boardwalk that, you know, just to get, if I go there to get some exercise beyond everything else. So, and then yesterday I spent a lot of time shooting leaves, just trying to see something else that I could shoot while it was out there.
That's a really good place to shoot infrared.
I've been there multiple times, but I decided not to take the infrared camera yesterday, so I took the macro lens instead.
So did you say it's close to your house?
Yep. I'm not going to say how close.
So if I go there early in the morning, I might see you?
Maybe. You never know.
And then I can go back to your place for coffee?
I don't have coffee.
You can come to my place. I got peanut butter cookies.
I don't even have those. Yeah, I think we all should go to Brian's.
Brian, I'm not flirting with you yet.
But it's hard to wear a mask when you're eating cookies.
Well, I've been to Lettuce Lake Park a couple times the last few weeks too, and I'm really enjoying that park as well. They don't have any flowers, but they have lots of, that's a good place for infrared for sure. Trying to get out and move around a little bit.
Yep.
All right, it's 7:40. I think we have everybody. Looks like we're missing Brian Schneider.
And we're missing Chuck.
And Jim M. Brian's
Yeah,
back.
Chuck is back in his seat. And Jim M., who's had to say something about your timing,
Oh, there he
he's
is.
back.
Okay.
My timing is impeccable.
Okay.
I want to say we're sorry about this category. It's probably one of the hardest things to do this year. It was supposed to be an easy one.
Yeah, there was. Yeah, there was some people that I think kind of more hit the nail on the head than others with this.
Yeah, this one was hit solid.
Yes, that is. Yep, this is exactly hitting the nail on the head about what this kind of thing was about. Love the framing and the square crop with the circle and the square crop and the panning motion. Well done with the panning motion on that.
And I'd say Doris did another one to eliminate the Doris effect.
Was that a panning effect or just a shallow depth?
Yeah, this is panning. Look at it. This was panned with the action. Maybe not necessarily to create the effect, but the artist was competent enough to pan with the moving subject and keep the subject sharp. But look at the background there.
So what was it a slower shutter speed?
1/250th of a second. So looks like the
This guy must have been moving quite quickly.
That guy was moving. Well, I imagine you have to move quick with this thing, and it is motorized in order to not tip over.
Motorized, yeah.
Yeah, I imagine you go slow in this thing, and it's pretty easy to tip over.
Yeah. So Doris, you maintain focus on that one quite well. Anything you want to say about it?
Not really.
I'd like you to say something about it.
Well, Doris, was this a panning shot or no?
I didn't really intend for it to be. I was just trying to.
A panning shot, guys.
Use a picture before he passed by.
No, it was Brian a panning shot. If she's moving the camera to follow him, and if you look back behind him and the people, you'll see that everything is moving. There's a slight movement in the background. It's not, especially in the trees right above his head.
Well, what is the focal length?
32 millimeter.
My 55 lens.
It was shot at 32 millimeters.
Oh.
Some people have 3 eyes to witness that it was a panning shot.
Okay. Well, if it's a wide angle lens, I will agree with you that it's a panning shot. I thought it might be a telephoto lens.
No, this is an 18 to 55.
Yeah. So I agree. It must
I've
have
never,
been.
I've never seen a vehicle like that before.
Yeah.
Yeah. The only little thing I'd suggest is this piece right here. It's kind of a distracting visual element with the flags. So there's what it looks like without that piece in it. If if you want to compare in, out.
Oh, the sun.
Yep, looks better.
That would be my one suggestion.
Okay.
Nice capture of emotion in this one, and and a good composition with that as well.
Apparently, somebody else agrees.
Yeah, my kitten is chiming in with her opinion.
Yeah, I agree that the emotion of that lady that's in the front is good, and I also like the fact that the rest of it is blurred out.
Mm-hmm.
That is also good.
Yep. Yeah, it's a good capture, and sort of it falls within what what I think we were looking for in the category. The next one here just really looks a little bit more like, okay, a Christmas holiday moment as opposed to a hometown pride moment. I found the parade. The parade, I'll give you. The Grinch, I don't think so.
And I thought, and somehow it looks as though the Grinch was sharper than the girl.
Yeah, maybe. And then the girl's fingers are cut off. So the ones on the bottom. And when I first saw it, I thought that like her fingers are in front of something, but they're not. They're just cut off.
They're in front of the railing.
We have a hand.
No, he's just saying they're cut off in the composition here.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, just the framing of the image cut them off. Maybe that's better without the amputated fingers, but. This is a really nice blue hour twilight shot. Now this one, a lot of people got into this category with just like photographing pieces of public art and things like that, which is kind of a little off, I think. This one kind of stretched it a little more and worked a little bit more within the bounds of what I was looking for, in the fact that, okay, yeah, you do have this the public art installation in the foreground, but Brian was the artist on this. He did a great job of including the town and other landmarks and obvious things that position this within its environment and within the town of Tampa, showing, okay, yeah, this public park and stuff like that is nice, and puts it in context with all of this, and it's well composed and well executed and a lovely image to look at.
Now, before you move from that image, I had a problem with this cropping.
Okay.
On this one, so yeah, and also it's his shadow area as well. Now, as cropping, I'm bringing it over from the right hand side, and almost close to that pink building past the UT.
You want to come way in?
Yeah, no. Go back to the pink building.
That pink,
Yeah, and
this
just
pink
on,
building?
yeah, that pink building, just a little bit to the right of that. A little bit more to the right of that. Yeah, to give it a little breathing room. That was the deal on that. And your areas in the back, I tend to say that you have some color back there that's working. If I could share my screen, Jim, for just a second.
Go for it.
All right, I think you're gonna have to stop sharing yours.
His will stop if you start yours.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay. All right. Well, I will do that. And I think we're here. So in these areas here, I think I can show them. Let me get rid of you guys for just a second. All right. So you see the back area right there? See those colors and how they come alive?
Yeah, I do.
All right,
it looks like more of an exposure increase in color, but.
Well, you see in this area right here is where I'm going. And,
I like looking there.
Yeah, those little light areas, these little light areas of color, they come to life. And so I think you're dulling them down, and I have no understanding as to why.
I don't think I consciously did. How did you bring them out?
With a simple curve layer.
Oh.
And but you're going to see this again in another one of your shots where you block up the dark areas where there's nice, good color.
To me, those lights right in there that you were just pointing to are more of a distraction from the main part of the image. They cause the eye to go over to the left and maybe miss the bridge or something. I mean, I can see lighting up the star center. That looks good, but that light in the shadow, I don't see what the benefit of that is.
It offsets the color of the green. It gives you a anchor point on the left-hand side instead of going into a dark shadow.
Okay.
All right. So you're going to see that again in another one of your shots. So I'm going to stop sharing screen here.
Yeah, for this image here, one of the things that worked for this image within the context of hometown pride is actually showing people involved in an activity in their hometown at a place that this town is known for. That this lake is is a landmark location in Lakeland. And not only that, but we've got people in the landmark location enjoying it and interacting with the birds that are there and everything. And that worked for this, in its favor within what the category was for hometown pride.
Is that Morgan Lake?
Fong?
Yes.
Is that
Morton
Morgan?
Lake?
Yeah.
Yeah, Morton Lake.
In Lakeland, okay.
Lakeland, Morton Lake.
Okay. That's what I thought.
I like how it worked out in this one that you have virtual silhouettes here, but these geese right here are in the light and lit up, and the light is right here where this interaction is happening. But otherwise, you have silhouettes. That was visually agreeable to me. I
think I still could have cropped this one, Jim.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Grass.
Left side.
There's a lot of extra grass. Yeah.
Yeah, bottom and left.
How far in you want to come left?
Just past those two other geese.
Right there.
Those are swans.
So the two other swans, yes.
Mm-hmm. These are geese, but those were swans.
Okay. So, and I'll tell you why, just as soon as you get there. Okay, now it takes away that light from the left side for me, and that silhouette, and then the light the silhouette on the right-hand side of the geese or swans against the light of the geese.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that
And
works well.
everything is playing off of each other.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it works very well.
And there's almost like a frame going on there, a silhouette of people, of figures, framing those bright.
That's exactly what I was seeing. So that I didn't need the other swans on the other side in order to make this. I think this is a much more dynamic image, and certainly, Fong, I commend you on your storytelling on this one.
Mm-hmm.
You don't get that from me, Fong, so you can jump up right now and yell.
Huh?
Classic answer.
You can't believe it.
Oh, he's giving you a compliment. Yay.
Okay, and there was Fong entered one too many, so we had to remove one. So that this one got removed, so we're going to skip over that. And moving on to this image right here.
Is this Jack or Jim?
This is Jim.
Jim, okay. Painting up the town, huh?
I'm trying to. This is early in the morning. It's hard to, not much going on, not too many parades.
I understand. I don't have anything to say badly about this image.
Wow. That's a compliment too.
Yeah, as an architectural shot, it's nicely done. Within the storytelling of the category, it's it's a little on the weak side of the storytelling, but it's a nice architectural shot there.
Yeah.
The nice straight parallel lines, and the blue hour morning blue hour looks good with the subject matter here.
And I thought the title really helped bring it into the perspective.
Yeah.
I wish it had been lit a little bit better.
Yeah.
The blue is nice, and the white is always like that, and the red was a little bit on the tepid side.
Mm-hmm.
That's what adjustment brush is for.
Well,
you got to boost it up.
This is true. Yeah.
That building on the left looks kind of weird to me. Is it stretched out a little bit too much, Jim?
It's been straightened out, and it did get a little stretched in the straightening effect.
Yeah, it did look distorted to me. I thought it wasn't straight, but it looks a little weird.
So how many of you guys own a rectilinear lens? Okay, so now you'll be quiet, right?
I got a thermometer. I got one of those thermometers, but
that's okay. We don't need a picture of that.
Your word for it.
Okay, this is a stretch.
Yeah, this is just a very static, snapshot of a mural. What's missing here is the artist telling any kind of a story with this. There's no storytelling here. There's
I thought it would be even better if they set it up on a tripod and at least put themselves in it. It would be a step up.
Yeah, Jim, you should have done that and put it on a self timer, and you should be there wearing a pirate hat and smoking a cigar.
Aye, matey. I'll get me a peg leg and a stuffed paddock too.
That'd work.
I have to confess that I had trouble with this competition subject this month.
Everybody did.
It was a challenge. And I'm beginning to think I should have gone for train depots instead.
And again, another location shot with a lack of storytelling.
I thought it might be better if it was at nighttime and the lights were actually on, because those are lights, but they're not on because it's in the middle of the day.
Mm-hmm.
So the shot didn't make sense to me. Why take a picture of lights that are not lit?
Yeah, I bet this does look pretty cool at night. I've never passed by it at night. I've only passed by it in the daytime. But yeah, if it does actually light up, that would be cool. It does look like there's wiring there.
Yeah, and bulbs are there, and
Mm-hmm.
yeah, so yeah, coming back at a different time of day when the lights are on, I think would be a better shot.
Yep. Agreed. Well, it's later in the day and the lights are on.
Yeah.
But there's still a limited amount of storytelling.
Yeah, I think the problem that a lot of these shots have is that there's no people in the shots.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. Not that it was a requirement, but you can see where it definitely makes a difference. You know, the interaction of of people, involved in something going on.
There's not that many people out and about. You'd have to take your own people with you to be the subject.
Yeah, yeah. So I was actually hoping to see more shots with people wearing masks, like people in the stores that, they're just outside in lines waiting and stuff like that. And, but there wasn't any.
How about cardboard cutouts? That would work.
So to me, this looks like just someone made a composite, right? Because this didn't happen in 2020, right?
Yes, this shooting in the airport, so that's why the fireworks is not a lot. I think it's not from the cities, individual people shooting the fireworks.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's why I put this year the time, because I think in other years they always have a beautiful fireworks.
Right. Okay, so these are local people.
The moon, it was like an hour later came out, so the moon was I put there because it was a full moon night too.
Yeah. So you're at the airport parking garage, and you said you got the 500 millimeter lens on there, the very long focal length, picking up the fireworks going on in between you and the skyline.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
It's kind of flat and hazy looking. And when you think hazy looking, that should be your clue to go to the dehaze slider, and and you can pop some nice clarity into this image there.
Is part of that because of the distance too, Jim?
Oh yeah, with that telephoto lens at that distance, yeah. But you can overcome that with with your post processing.
Okay.
That looks much better, Jim.
Yeah, look at the difference.
Yeah.
And subtract some blacks for me.
Like that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now it looks like night.
Mm-hmm.
Before it looked weird.
It looked like LA smog in Tampa.
Yes, you're right.
Yeah, again, it's a static image of a building. The concept of pride, doesn't come through here. Although it's a nice photo of probably a historic building.
Now, I really want to know what the author wanted me to know on this one.
Is the author here tonight?
No, she said she was going to be, but she's not.
Okay. What even just outside of this category as an image, I would suggest take out the trash and take this piece out, or even more so, this works well in a in a vertical.
Mm-hmm.
Much more so.
Yeah.
Now you have this great carry through of the blue, the blue truck, the blue sign, the blue sky. All this ties in together now.
Yeah.
And you don't have to worry about taking out the tree branch and the trash.
And if she had moved over about 10 feet to the right and got under the pole.
Pole out, yeah. Or move to the left.
Mm-hmm.
We're starting a song now. It's called "To the Right, to the Right, to the Left, to the Left." Now shimmy, now back, now shimmy, now out, whatever, however that thing goes.
So and here we have a couple cases now where it's the stories coming from the titles. This is a nice architectural shot.
Yeah, it's a beautiful architectural shot.
Two things I'd point out with this little chunk of blue right here. That
Right.
If that just comes out of there, then then you have kind of a consistent sky going on, and there's processing halo around the tree here.
Yeah.
That can deal with. But nice architectural shot.
Now, Jack, this is you, right?
Yes, that is. Thank you for the comments.
And I'm just saying that with that around that tree, I thought you had some steady hands, and right now it looks like that brush got a little outside of the steady hands. You're a surgeon, right?
Yeah, I'm retired.
A surgeon. Now I'm a photographer.
Hey, same difference.
Yeah. Transitioning into another profession.
That's an easy fix, though.
Yeah, that one got away from me, and I see the blue, and those are good comments. Thank you.
Now, conversely, this is a story.
Yeah, this is an interesting concept with the past, present, future concepts being visually illustrated here.
And the constant building with the cranes in the background.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I appreciate that, and that's exactly what I thought of when I saw that. And on the left, if you'll see, that's the medical school going up for the University of South Florida. If you
Right.
zoom in on it, you'll see that's the sign for USF back there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I think this would be good for the category of odd couple, because we got new buildings right next to this very, very old building.
Yep, that would have worked in that category as well.
I love all the palm trees or the palm type trees that are taking over this thing, and how you have the modern trees in the background that are so non-Florida.
Oaks are definitely Florida.
Yeah.
That's coming from people who aren't from Florida.
That's correct. And I want you to know that.
May I ask, what's the f-stop on this?
16.
16? Okay, thank you.
1/30th of a second. You on a teapot?
With an 18mm lens.
Definitely on a tripod. I have several shots of this from different angles. I have one where you just see the old building and the new building with separation between them. But I preferred this shot because it shows, yesterday, today, and tomorrow.
Yeah.
And it gives me more.
And
of a
everything
story.
runs together unbroken, across it without any gap.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, and sometimes that can be a disadvantage because it's nice to have separation, but I couldn't do it in this case.
You
But
did not need to do it
Yeah,
Right.
not necessary in this case. It worked.
because the building itself, the torn down building, almost looks like a dog or some type animal that's broken down, that's about to be on its last leg.
So I appreciate the kudos, but where did this picture fall short?
It didn't fall short.
It was just honorable mention. I don't understand.
Well, it only fell short with one of the three judges. So
Okay, let me know so I can have them executed. I have friends.
Jack,
friends, you know.
Jack, your profession does not allow execution, but it does allow you to do surgery.
Right on.
Yeah, there were two high scores and one offsetting low score.
Paybacks.
So the people doing the critiquing did not score low.
Oh, wow.
Number 3 under the pump.
Man, that bus is so heavy.
Okay, so
you change the oil while you're underneath that bus.
Oh, that bus is heavy.
Karen, tell Jack what you didn't like about this.
More than a bus.
It'd be me, and actually I found the crane very distracting. My eye kept going over there when I saw the one building that's falling apart, and then on the right, but my eye kept going to the crane, and I found that distracting.
Part of the story.
Karen, I love you, Karen. Don't you worry. Nothing will happen.
Ooh, boy.
Thanks, Jim, to come into the bus. I don't think I have any more judges after this.
Well, Karen, I will say, if you ever end up on the operating table and Jack walks in the room, wake up and get out of there.
No chance, Karen. We won't let anything happen.
Yeah, hey, Karen, Jack has a T-shirt that says, "I have a gun, a shovel, and an alibi."
Scalpel, a stethoscope, and an alibi.
Okay, we got the statue of the sponge diver, and it's been removed from its context of where it's located. Now, it makes on its own, it's kind of interesting, you know, giving it this nighttime effect. For technical educational purposes, I'm going to show you something about that in a minute. But as far as within the category of hometown pride, it's been removed from its context of being in a town, which is an interesting choice on the artist's part.
And that's his hometown is outer space.
It does kind of have an astronaut look now about it. You know.
But you say it's not in the town, and that's true. But everybody from here knows immediately what that is.
Mm-hmm.
I would not know.
With 2020 hindsight, after seeing everybody's photos, I realized that I took the sponge boats. I thought it was cluttered in the back. I realized that I actually took the story out of the photo, and that was my mistake.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I see what I did.
Yes, you did.
Now, for purposes of just because I see people doing this, you know, a lot, blacking out the backgrounds, you know, and one thing I'll take a minute to show you guys here is we kind of talked about this for anybody that was at the potluck photo dinner the other night about kind of blurring the edges a little bit to not make them look so razor sharp when you've got them on a background like this, to not make it look so much like a cutout. In a case like this, you don't even have to use a blur tool or anything. This is actually pretty easy. I'm just going to take the tragic wand, as we call it sometimes. You know, select the black, and then you can modify the selection. Just going to expand it by 1 pixel, and then I'm just going to feather it by 1 pixel. 1.5, that'll work. Let me get my layers here, and I'm gonna put that up on its own layer there.
You got the background, Jim. You aware of that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And let me make sure I did what I think I want to do here. Yeah, I got ahead of myself.
Select and mask. Layer and a mask.
I'm putting that up on its own layer there. And then the idea is expand it slightly, feather it slightly, and then I'm going to fill again with the black.
Okay.
Well, and I'm wasting our time because I screwed something up.
Do you need to change any blending mode for that or at all, or no?
No, I think I know what you're doing. I think I know exactly what you're doing. It just didn't go in enough.
Let me hide the marching ants, and there it is. Yeah, and then just that. Yeah, I just want you to see the difference between looking like a cutout and looking like more like a statue in the night by softening those edges. The whole idea was just to soften the edges so they're not so razor sharp. You see that?
Right.
Yes.
So if you are going to be doing this, where you're, especially where you're putting it on a solid color, dark solid color like black or something, which I see a lot of people doing in their images lately. We like stuff to be sharp a lot of the times, but it's something like this, sharp looks like a cutout. It looks like a composite, where softening the edges a little bit, gives you a little bit more realism effect for the viewer. So just wanted to point that out.
That's cool.
All right. Good. Jeff.
Please help me with this the subject. I mean the title.
I had a hard time seeing it. I think because I'm having the phone, so I couldn't
Um,
understand it.
I took the title of Caught in the Act to mean that the photographer has been caught in the act of taking the picture.
That's right.
So I was correct, Doris?
Yes, that's right.
Okay. All right. I got
She didn't look very happy with you.
I know, I left.
Okay, given what you said, now you split the screen for me, which means that I have two different subjects and two different things going on in this photograph to indicate caught in the act.
Right.
I was looking at the guy getting the food in the front of the line. I said, okay, did he steal the soda in his hand? And the guy in the back, is he not looking at the guy in front that's stealing the soda? And then I went to the lady and I said, okay, where is she? Was she caught doing something wrong? And that's what I got from the subject.
Yeah, what I got from it was the photographer was taking a photo of this story over here and got caught in the act of taking the photo by this person over here. That's how I took it to be.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think the confusion could have been cleared up with she caught me in the act, because she's the only one that's a female, so it would be very clear of what it is you're saying. You just need to title it "She Caught Me in the Act." But
Or you just need to be intuitive as I am.
Or you got to be smart. Like
I couldn't make it out. But just for the sake of argument, crop this image for me.
Which story do you want?
Take out the two guys.
I knew that was coming.
You want to go to there?
Yeah, that's fine. All right, now I got somebody pointing toward that, like the owner, or the person in the food truck is now a part that's guiding me toward her, and then she toward you.
Yes.
She toward the photographer. That's a much more complete story to me.
Doris said, tough shit.
Yeah.
That's what that look meant.
So yeah, this scored a little bit low, and I was wondering why. It's not my photo, but I was just wondering why it was scored low.
This image is a little light to start with. The values can come down.
It doesn't need this up here to take your eye away from it. Certainly, it doesn't need that.
I just thought the technical execution on this was a little lacking.
Mm-hmm.
Nice to have the shadow of the paddle in the water showing all the way.
Right.
Yeah, sir.
Yeah, so you can see it's a little flat in contrast and color. Has, like I say, it has this extra stuff going on up here, and then
like darkening the midtones may bring up more of the color and make it pop better.
Yeah, watch it pop here. Even from here, there's how flat it is there, and then look at it pop right there.
Right.
This is a nice image. The vignette is kind of heavy and obvious. Was this the Lightroom vignette?
Yes.
Yeah. There's many more elegant ways to put a vignette on that isn't as heavy-handed as Lightroom. The Lightroom vignette is pretty heavy-handed and obvious with its effect. Vignetting can be nice sometimes, but when it is pretty obvious in this case. It can be done more subtly.
Well, YouTube is always telling me to do that, to draw the attention into the center of the photo. YouTube.
Yeah, but I'm just saying there's much more elegant tools and techniques for doing that than the Lightroom tool, which is heavy-handed and obvious. I'm not saying don't do a vignette. I'm saying do a vignette better.
Okay.
Brian, this is again. I had a. Go ahead.
And you've got spots. Fixed spots.
Spots.
Yeah. See them?
No.
Right there. Right in the middle of the hand. There's another one right there. See him?
Yeah, I see him.
What are those spots from?
I don't see
sir.
Those are either those those dirt spots you had on your lens before you cleaned it, or since.
No, I know what they are. They're raindrops. I've got a story to tell. All three of my photos tonight were taken from the same photo shoot. I got up at 5:30 in the morning, and the stupid forecast was wrong, and now it's going to rain, and it was raining, and I said, to heck with it. I'm going to drive downtown anyway, and it starts raining harder the closer I get to downtown, and I say, well, I'll get down there and I'll park, and then I'll sleep for a couple hours till the rain stops. Well, I got down there, and just about that time, it was raining lightly but not heavy, and you can see that's natural color. That was no, but anyway, I had one of the most productive photo shoots I've had in a long time, and I almost didn't go because of the rain.
No, I like to shoot in the rain. There's some old saying about bad weather makes good photos or something like that.
So anyway, those spots are probably raindrops that I didn't wipe off the lens.
Yeah, that could be. Yeah, they're easy to fix.
All right. No, I said there's a running theme through your photographs.
Yeah,
Brian.
I'm interested to hear this.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. On your shot, let's see. I'll go back to my minimize this right here. Move this over to the other side, and I will bring up file, open recent. And what's the name of your shot?
Laurel Bridge.
Laurel Street Bridge on a rainy morning.
Okay. Good. Okay. Now, I had a couple of things that I thought in this photograph were quite interesting that were placed in the dark, and one of them was these pigeons that are down here to give it some foreground. Now, I'll show you what it looks like initially.
Yeah.
And by opening up giving a central point to go to, and I thought that this was your best light here, by giving it a little bit of just turning that light on.
And how did you do that again?
You did it with levels.
Curves, levels, it doesn't matter.
That's a levels adjustment right there.
Right.
Show him the mask. That's how he did it.
Now, if you want to know the technique that I use to do this, I use a burn and dodge technique using multiply and screen. And the way it works is I'm going to do a back, here's your deal, go down to my adjustment layer. I will do brightness, contrast, levels, curves. It doesn't matter. Any one of those, it doesn't matter. Let's just say brightness and contrast. I'll change the blending mode, in this case, from normal to screen. That makes everything light. It doesn't matter which one I do. It'll change the screen will make everything light. And then I'll invert it, control letter I to make it dark again. Take a brush, and my opacity will be 100%. My flow will be 10% or less. And in that flow, I'll make a nice soft brush. Okay, right here. Brush is going to be, and I'll just simply go back and forth over the item, just to bring up little areas that are of interest. Again, bringing the brush down, go across that, and it's a nice even deal. I can then open up these little areas of light in order to bring out certain values. And then, I like if you're gonna photograph light, then show the light. There's light underneath here. There's light over here. There's this light. And then you get to this big dark area that you have here. And it becomes very, very dark, but we're adding light to these things, just a little bit of light. And,
okay, and I see that, I like it on that white thing, and I kind of see it for the birds, but the pillars in the back, to me, that again draws your eye back there, and that's not where I want you looking.
No, wait. Okay. All right, let's talk about the stage, and I'm going to emphasize this 100%. And you're gonna see exactly how I judge things. If you're gonna put something in the frame, then it's part of the story. And if it's part of the story, then it warrants being looked at, unless it's a backdrop to the story. So, yes, your eye is back there because that's color supporting it. But your main eye, the main thing is right here. So I don't want to get this and stop here. Let that be it. If I do that, then everything is sort of dull. So what I'm saying is I'm giving me a starting place. And I don't have to bring up everything, because according to your logic, look at this vignette that Jim pointed out. That is so prominent in this photograph. And what is it serving? It's only pointing me to the edges of the photograph. So I come back in and I say, okay, I want you to see this. I want you to see the little details, but I don't want you to stay there. So if you wander around the photograph, there's a thing that I say, if I got you in that photograph for 2.2 seconds, If I can hold you there that long, I have already impression in your brain that this is something worth seeing. You got all this rich, nice, beautiful color here, but you got all these little small pieces of detail that can be brought out, but not overpowering your main start. So I give you that, and then you see that light just turned on back there?
Yeah.
So I'm guiding you through the photograph. You got a great base photograph. It's just that I stop in this photograph right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's lots of visual interest in this photograph. It doesn't have to stop at just the main point of the interest.
Okay. Thank you for the help.
Robert, can I ask a question?
Sure.
You said that the 10% flow. How do you decide the flow? How much percentage to use?
If you guys don't mind taking an extra second and going through this, I'll explain that. Am I back to my image? Oh, okay, I got to share again. All right, you have if I can then lay down a brand new layer in here somewhere. All right, top layer, new layer, and I will fill this with that color right there, whatever that color is. Option delete. Okay, and that's option delete. Okay, good. We got a blank deal right here. You know, with a brush, your brush at 100% everything, if I paint across it, X, I paint across it, I get that, right?
Yes.
So if I take the opacity and put it at 50%, half of that amount, I paint across it, I get half the density.
Yes.
And I have to paint across it again in order to get, and probably again, I don't know the mathematics from it, but it's not always 50% plus 50%. It's 50% of the 50%. So I have to paint across it several times, right?
Yes.
So I'm going to make the brush a little bit harder, if I may, please. Okay, so a little bit smaller. So that's what you're getting whenever you paint at your percentages. Paint at 12%. So I go across it again, I go across, and I can go across it 50 times, and it's not going to increase anymore if I keep patting it. I mean, going back and forth. So we agree with that. That's how we paint. All right, let me go Command delete. All right, back again. Now, flow is going to be how much is coming out in order to build up to that percentage. So let me take my opacity back to 100%. And if I put my flow down low, very low, and I paint, if I continue to paint, it builds up to that 100%. So that means I can do a little bit at a time, or I can do a lot as long as I go back and forth. I can build up. So it's a better way, I think, of especially with a soft brush, of filling in shadows or painting on people's faces, because you get a much more of a natural flow instead of a blunt flow. So I can just give a little bit of softness there, like so, or I can give a lot of it. And this usually works when you have a wacom pad or what are those pens?
It's digital airbrushing.
Yeah, it's the same thing. So you just a little bit at a time, or I can put a lot in just by simply going over it. So when I go over the area that I'm painting here with the curves, and I'm painting at a very low percentage. I usually paint 5 and below is my normal, but whenever I teach people, I would say 10 and below. As I'm laying on the paint, I can go over that just a little bit without actually building up too much. And so I was headed over to this area right here where it's dark. I'll add another, just so you'll see the screen thing. This time I'm gonna do curves. So it doesn't matter if I do normal screen. Again, you notice how I got light, everything got light. And then I'll invert it, Command or Control letter I. And now I can come over here with that low flow high opacity. Oh, let me go back to 100%. And in this area right here, just a little bit of buildup, just a tiny bit. So it's not such a hard thing to deal with. Just tiny. That makes sense?
Yeah, thank you.
If I want to change it, I just hit my X. If I go too far, I just hit my X key, and so I'm painting out a little bit at a time.
Show the mask again, Robert.
In this case, it will be that mask up there.
Yeah,
That's the one I did.
not much.
Here's the other mask, the one you saw earlier on the water. I did a little bit on the water down there. Let me turn this off. And so if you look at the original image, see there's little highlights right here, little highlights in those areas in the color. I'm simply building on them and then building some more and then building a little bit more.
Robert, you're looking like an artist to me.
And isn't that what this is all about?
It looks like you're creating a work of art.
But it's all about light and shadow. Everything that we do in photography is about light and shadow. And rather than to say to blacken things out in a large blob of black in your photograph, you're going to see that with another photograph coming up. What you're doing is you're controlling how the eye wanders around the photographs. So that's just a thought.
Yep. You're turning photographers into artists.
And
thank you, Robert. Very nice.
So,
Tim, you have got to be with your cat.
Oh, that's my kitten again.
That was the dog.
Yeah. More of the same with this one, Robert?
No, actually, this one sort of works. It's got you could do that, but it's got enough different shapes in it that maintain the visual interest.
Yeah, this has a very nice mood to it with the darkness. You know, I felt with touches of light and seeing these reflections, you really do get a sense of what time of night it is and what's going on there. I do like the overall dark mood and feeling.
Yeah, this one works because it's already inherited in there. You have your dark tree area, and then you have a light next to it. Then you have a dark thing that you can actually make out the details in it, and then you have light next to it. So everywhere there's dark, there's light on the other side of it.
Yeah, and the metal work between the glass is light and really does break up the real heavy areas of darkness. It's a really nice, low-key, almost abstract architectural image.
And that's why you wouldn't do anything to this one, because it's already doing it.
I actually was possibly considering submitting it as an abstract, but I didn't think it quite made it. But
it doesn't quite make it as abstract. It would be. This is more of, like I say, this is in the realm of architectural, and there's such a thing as architectural abstract, which is a subcategory of architectural, not necessarily abstract in general.
Just as a point of interest, though, it wasn't taken at night. It was taken about 8:30 in the morning on that rainy morning.
Yep. Very nicely done.
Yeah.
This was one of my favorite photos.
I really like the graphic nature of this and everything. It needs a little more pop, to it. I think, because it's got a lot of potential, for that. Versus, see the difference there? It looks kind of flat and muddy. But, well, you give that a little pop and look at that. But yeah, it's a really cool image.
Fong.
Yes.
I want you to hear me clearly. You did not title this correctly.
I sing like a music note.
It ain't like a musical note. It's the American flag. It's red, white, and blue.
Oh.
You're confusing it, Robert.
Huh? And this is composed so nicely.
Okay, so you're talking about painting some red to make
No,
it.
there's red in there. There's the red beets.
Oh, okay, like orange red.
Yeah, an orange, the reddish tone. You got the white and you got the blue. And so I'm going to tell you, Fung, I'm going to take away your camera because I know you borrowed this camera to do this because this was not your camera. So somebody else's camera made this photograph because cameras make great photographs. So you borrow somebody's better camera.
You gotta tell them no, it wasn't the camera, it was you.
You lost her. You lost her, Robert.
Fung, shoot more like this.
Oh, so I didn't catch Jim how to change to dark.
No, just change some of the sliders in Lightroom. That's all. Just
what
open up the shadows, a little bit of exposure, and some clarity, dehaze right here. Yeah,
You say slowly. I didn't catch.
Huh?
I didn't catch. You said what you change?
These sliders right here.
Oh. Okay.
Just play with them.
Mm-hmm.
About this swan neck, a little bit dirty, so need a brush to something. I don't know how to
Yeah,
do
you could do that if you wanted.
Yeah, could you show me how to do that?
In the interest of time, not right now. I can't. But well, even in Lightroom, you could take this brush in Lightroom and
In Lightroom.
Yeah, you can do the Lightroom brush and
yeah, I don't
down
know.
the saturation and just lights and.
I don't know how to change color. You brush how to change color. So
you're not changing the color. You're taking. You want to take out the color that's there. It's not changing the color. It's removing the color. See that?
removing color. How to do that? So
right here, saturation slider. See it?
Oh, saturation. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Lighter. Okay. Okay. Got it. Saturation lighter.
And a little bit of exposure adjustment. See that?
Okay.
And and the saturation slider, because you're not changing the color. You can't really change a color to white, but you can subtract the color and take it away.
Okay.
Saturation.
Saturation. Okay.
All right.
I call this clickbait.
I thought there was some type of shadow around the person's head.
It is.
Oh, there is. There's dark halos around the person's head, underneath the roof of the boat, around here, around the fishing rods, around this guy's rod and reel. Yeah, right. See them there? There is there's dark halos all over the place in this image. Yeah, you're exactly right, and it's most prominent around this person's head and under this part of the roof of the boat here, but it's appearing in many other places too. It came in during the processing.
Yeah.
You need to speak to Lee about that.
Nice butterfly, Lynn.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Lynn, I had one question.
Yeah.
One major question. It's obvious that how I feel about this image, which is very, very strong. My question is, in this competition, why did you put a yellow rule around it?
I wondered if you were going to mention that.
Yeah, I was having and hawing about it, but when I took it off, it was just too much darkness.
White, gray, or black?
I wanted, because it didn't fit. It was I've used the same color. I used the eyedropper and I pulled the color right off the butterfly.
White, gray, or black?
No.
No.
White, gray, or black for competition.
White, gray, or black for competition.
Those are the only colors we can use.
That's Robert's laying down the law in case you're not listening to him.
Hey, they got me on this one a long time ago. I remember.
Well, it would have, I don't think it would have made the image, and so I would have, it didn't look right without it. And
Oh, it does. It looks so right without it.
No, it doesn't.
As far as competition, it looks so right.
No.
This image stands on its own.
It doesn't have, and it didn't have, the background is the actual background.
Sure, the image stands on its own. Lynn, is what I'm telling you. And if you have to accent it in order to make it right, then you've already lost the image.
I just thought it was just too much black.
No, it's not.
I like it with the color around it, Lynn.
Yes, I agree that aesthetically, yes.
I'm leaving now.
I know you can't do it for competition, but I prefer it with the ring around it. I have a question for you. What is the speed? What's the speed on this image?
1/600th of a second.
Because the reason
1/1600th of a second.
Because the reason I ask is those butterflies, they never stand still. They never sit still. Their wings are always moving.
Well, I found
always moving.
I have 3 really good images of this same butterfly on different flowers. One was this, I guess this was up against the building wall. And there was another one where he was up on a flower that was up high, where he was up against the sky. And then there was another one where the plant was behind him, which was all bokeh out. So I actually have 3 good shots of this same butterfly. I took all within 5 minutes of each other. And I just followed him around. He was on a big, huge Mexican zinnia plant at Eureka Springs. And I just followed him around and just kept shooting. And you know me, when I see something that moves, I immediately up my shutter speed so I can catch it.
Well, and I know that
sometimes you don't.
they move their wings constantly, and it's Mexican sunflower.
Yeah, Mexican sunflower, whatever it is.
The image stands on its own without it.
I like it the other way. And I like that the line goes behind the stem.
Well,
of the
it was
flower.
something it was something I just learned about on one of my classes I was taking, so I wanted to try it and I liked it. So
I love it personally.
I got gigged for that, Lynn. One of my very first things, and it was, I don't remember what the picture was, but
yeah,
my rim was red, and I heard the same thing: white, gray, or black. White, gray, or black.
So this is a long exposure.
1.6 seconds. It's infrared, and it has a the kind of motion going on, the blur, the second on. It has kind of an ethereal, glowing look to it that's nice. There is kind of some weirdness, Fong, with, I don't know what's going on with why it's brushed and then it's not brushed, and we can see the brush strokes and and the weird things going on, like that. But had it been more consistent with with what was happening with this, then it could have been better, because the image overall, has a very nice feel about it.
Oh, I just want to make leaves dark, but I cannot do. So I want to make a little bit dark different. So on the lake, infrared close now.
Well, the
Jim?
infrared makes all the green stuff lighter, so you kind of have to go with it being lighter.
As a leaf, maybe black, little bit of black is better.
But if it's a healthy green leaf, infrared makes it light, not dark.
Oh, okay.
Only dead vegetation is dark, but live vegetation reflects infrared and becomes light in infrared. That's part of the concept of infrared, is that healthy vegetation reflects infrared light, and the greener it is, the more it reflects, and
Go
the
to
brighter
next
it gets.
image, and you'll see it.
So how to reduce noise? Is the noise too much? There's a 4,000.
Right here.
Yeah.
Right
Okay.
here with this slider that says noise reduction.
It's in the Lightroom?
Yep.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
There's healthy green foliage. That's what, see it?
Mhm.
White?
Yeah, I see it.
Upper right corner for me, Lynn, on this one.
Yeah, there's a little bit of weirdness, you know, in here with the way they with the way the clouds process out.
Yeah. I'm sure I was having a real problem with the sky because that one was shot in 720, 720 nanometers, which would gave me some color, and then I couldn't get the color the way I wanted it, so I went ahead and took it all the way to black and white.
Yeah, were you doing a lot of stuff in that CLIR panel and whatnot?
Not this one. I don't think I did a whole lot in there with this one. No, I tried with the color and it just wasn't working. So
yeah. Yeah, because the only thing that you know, that, like I say, caught my eye negatively with this was, let's say, up here, you've got this dark spot, but also once I looked at that, I caught, okay, there's some weird processing artifacts happening in these clouds right here.
something with the color was just getting all funky from in that corner. And what I was trying to do was make the blue parts darker.
Yeah.
And because the bottom and the reflection was darker, and so
right.
it wasn't like it was like it didn't match, you know.
Yeah, and in real life, reflections in water are darker than the subject that's being reflected, usually by at least a stop to 2 stops darker. That's natural and normal, but for compositionally, when you're presenting an image, it does make a little more sense to try and, you know, balance it out, like what you're saying. It's very interesting, Susan, how this this image, you know, it's shot at f/22, you know, great depth of field, great detail in it, but even for something interesting about it, just with all that detail and everything, it still has a painterly feel to it, which is very pleasing, even with all that detail and depth in it.
Thank you.
There's
I think maybe the green you're talking about, or the overall picture feels like it's painterly.
Yeah, overall. Mm-hmm. And
Spanish moss helps that a lot because it softens everything up.
One thing that I'll point out, I did a little just a little change here so you can see the differences. My eye did keep going to this hole right here, which, you know, is kind of stark compared to the whole rest of the images. And there's I just filled it in a little bit. See the difference?
Yes.
Some branches. Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that bothered me. Yeah.
What bothers me is the tree on the left. My eye keeps on going to that tree there.
Yeah, and I can see there's, you know, no real way to change your composition to eliminate that. It's just a matter of, well, you know, if it's there, okay, it can be less of a distraction if it's, you know, somewhat filled in. So I just did a quick fill in just so you could see the difference.
What if you darkened it, Jim?
What?
Because it seems like it's lighter than the main tree. If you
Yeah.
darkened that one, would it help?
Oh yeah, I agree. That was just quick, just to show, you know, okay, you know, just the difference. But yeah, absolutely, it should be toned down a little bit as well. You're
I think she was talking about the trunk of the pine tree.
Talking about the tree on the left.
oh, the tree itself.
No, the tree on the left.
This one over here. Okay.
Yeah, because it's brighter than the one in the main subject. So your eye, Sherry's right. Your eye goes right over there to that thing. I would darken it and then make it less blue.
Yeah, it's definitely got a purpley blue
Oh.
cast, to it. And actually, since I have the brush activated,
That looks a lot better because it gives it
You can-
dimension. You know what I mean? It makes the front tree
There.
pop out and it gives you depth.
there you go. All right, nice. That's yours, right, Jack?
Yes, it is.
Nice detail.
Yeah. Let's say, what was the lighting source for this?
That was a natural light. It's in my backyard.
What kind of light did you say it was?
Natural.
Oh, natural. Okay. Over the
I
internet connection here, it sounded like you said macro light. And I was like, oh, wait, what's that?
No, natural light.
Yeah.
But,
Yep.
but I just, I darkened the periphery.
Yeah, and that worked. You gave it a lot of dimension and depth, with how you manipulated the light and the shadow in that.
Did you notice the tongue of the fitillary? It's at right angles. Do you see it come down the little black line? That's part of the tongue.
Oh.
Right there.
Yeah. Wow.
The proboscis is right above it, and it's at right angle to the proboscis. Right there, and then right there. Yeah. It's interesting anatomy.
Jack, I have to tell you, this is Karen. I thought you did a great job with this.
Okay, Karen. Okay, we'll let you get by this time.
It's too late. It's too late.
I couldn't love it. Karen, I couldn't
out from under that bus.
Well,
We
Jack,
call that hit squad.
passion flowers and butterflies are both really hard to get all in focus, most of them in focus, and you did a great job on both on that one.
Thank you very much.
I thought it was great.
Thank you, Karen. Thank you.
Say it again, Karen.
Now, are you seeing the screen?
Yeah.
Yes.
I know we normally do wings. In my opinion, I thought it was a lot of wasted black space on this image.
That's a nice composition, Robert. Yeah, that's another.
Wait,
so-
Robert.
Yeah.
I'm going to protest. Black space matters.
Oh.
Black space matters.
You know what, Jim? This is why I love with you, and I've slept with you multiple times.
Here we go. You just get. Never mind.
But what I'm getting at is that little bit of detail that you just described about the right angle, I thought was very important. And those lines that are there coming out of the antenna and the pointer of the butterfly and the colors, all those colors coming together was much more important than the black space on the left-hand side.
I like that composition.
And I like that composition. I have another version of this close up like that, and it's very, very attractive. I like that. That's a good composition. Thank you.
All righty. That was just a thought. Okay.
This image here with this 5-second long shutter speed what I found fascinating about this is that it wasn't really long, where it turned the water just ultra smooth and foggy looking. And it wasn't short enough to have crisp detail. It's kind of in between. And I find that really visually pleasing to have the softness and a little bit of texture and this nice this nice pastel palette of colors that flows across here and is reflected down here. This is a very serene image. Even serenity now. It's just very calming to look at.
I really liked that the sand and the water ran into each other. It's like you could hardly tell where it stopped.
Yeah, I really like that the choice of shutter speed that you use for finding that in between, where we still see waves, and texture, on the water, but it's still kind of smoothed out and and blurred, and that passage of time effect happening there. I think this was well done.
Is this Brian's image?
Yes, yes.
Brian, you didn't hear this from me, but I swear when I saw that image, I thought it was mine.
Well, I love to see your images, Robert. You never compete.
I'm a judge.
Okay. Well, okay.
I gotta hand it to you for visual impact on this one. that is right out there and in your face and bold and strong, and I definitely had an immediate reaction of getting a smile and a laugh out of this one. Yeah, that's
take down the highlights and bring up the shadows a little bit, please. That's the only thing that bothers me about this thing, is it's blown out on the highlight side. And then his face is all dark. There you go. We lost all that color.
It's more like that, Lynn.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but quite an interesting concept you had there.
Yeah, so I had what was a boring photograph of just the bridge leading to nothing, and I said, well, why don't I put something there, but not just put anything there. Let's make it a giant flamingo.
Yeah, great concept. Thanks. And I got an email from you, Jim. I looked in your email and read the body of the email after I had dumped this into Lightroom, and your email answered my question. And by the way, there's no problem with that at all to get an image into competition. But when I dumped it into Lightroom, I looked and said, why does the EXIF data say that this image came from an Epson scanner? Then I read your email. So, and by the way, there's nothing wrong with scanning a print or anything to get a digital version to submit. Nothing wrong with that at all.
I'm sorry. I was just going to say, I thought this picture would be good with a graveyard. that sky.
In this particular case, I was actually coming home from a camera club, and it was a stormy night, and honest to God, there was one hole in the sky and a full moon right in the center of it. I basically didn't change anything. I just wish I would have known how to take a better picture of the moon. You take a picture of that bright moon, it was just a white dot. And so I took another photo of the moon to make it show up, but I've just never seen anything like this, so I thought I'd share it. It was just the strangest sky I'd ever seen.
There was actually a rainbow around it. I shot the same moon. In the brighter
by the way, anytime we shoot the moon, we all shoot at the same moon.
That's a good one.
It it really does look like one of the backdrops from one of the old Universal horror movies, Bride of Dracula, or one of
I
those.
wish I wish I would have figured out how to do a better shot of the thing.
Let me offer you some ideas, if I may. It'll be really quick. The composition on this is a bit static. So in that static composition, shirt tails. Where is it? Okay, great. I took a look at it without it, and I thought without it, I said, wow, that's a great backdrop as well in that particular image, just without the moon. And then I turned around and looked at it. Let's see. That's one. File, open recent. And then number 2. There you go, number 2. All right, number 2. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, did I just do that right?
You have both of them up here on your.
Okay, yeah, okay.
On tab now.
All right, good. So then the second one, I moved the moon, and then just slightly, and I put it behind the clouds in a sense, to let it be a little bit more ominous, as opposed to.
Yeah, it's almost too bright.
Yeah, and another thing, this goes back to what we talked about earlier. Look at the difference, not just because it moves, but when it moves. Put it back in the center, Robert. Look at how hard and sharp the edge of the moon is, which gives it that composite look. But yet, where Robert hasn't moved, notice the softening of the moon edges, which really helps with the realistic look of it.
I see what you guys did. I kind of like the shadow version of it. When I took the photo, it was just a white dot. I mean, it was just a bright ball there. So all I did was take a picture of the moon and put it where the white ball was. But yeah, I see what you mean by putting it behind it. Yeah, it looks better that way.
Yeah, even if you want to leave the center image, tone down the brightness of the moon and soften the edges.
Okay.
Sure.
So so you want to leave it in the center, then I can do that.
Yeah, there you go.
Those clouds are great, though. Yeah. Those clouds are.
Yeah, and then if that were just a little bit brighter than that, that'll work. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. There we go.
The clouds are in front of the moon.
Yep.
Not the moon in front of the clouds. We learned that in.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we did.
Right.
That gives it more of an ominous type of realistic effect.
Yeah. Thanks, Robert.
Was that Tony that told us that, Lynn?
I think it was Jim.
That was Jim at Potluck.
No, I wasn't at the potluck.
No, that was at Camera Club, I think.
It was a camera club.
Yeah. I thought it was Tony that told us that.
It was Lee Wynn's photograph.
Yeah, Jim said that.
Oh, Jim. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Speaking of Lee Wynn,
this is great.
This is a very lovely image. This I could see this framed and on the wall of a cabin, like a vacation cabin in the mountains, or a fishing cabin on the lake or something. I could definitely see this being a piece of artwork framed in a place like this.
Jim, I have a problem with this, a major problem. I think that border should be purple.
Ay.
You should be purple.
And that's a nice image, Luann.
Thank you.
Did you notice your low battery?
My low battery. Jim's low battery.
I have a low battery. What, on my camera?
On your computer?
No, I think it's mine.
I'm working on a desktop that doesn't have a battery. Now, this one here, cute image, but be aware in your processing. It looks like something's been eating at the bird's legs. You know, a Photoshop selection has been eating at the bird's legs and taking chunks out.
Yeah, I see that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's that. Yeah, again, I go into the black background. If you're gonna knock out that background and go black like that, be careful about things like this.
Yeah. Should this one also do like the one you're talking about, soften the edge too?
The edges are soft on this one. They're already soft on this one, which helps with the effect. So you don't need to do any more softening on the edges of this one like those other ones because it's not razor sharp and looking so much like a cutout. But there's a couple issues like that. But
okay.
It's a cute picture.
Where'd you take them at?
St. Augustine, Alligator Farm.
Okay.
This year when there are not too many people.
Say hi. Hello. Say hi, Papa Chuck.
Kaleidoscope in the makings.
Mm. Yeah, lots of cool looking multicolored lens flare all over this, giving it kind of an interesting effect.
F22 for you.
I'm just doing this because I'm curious to see.
And by the way,
more.
Susan, I was not saying that in the negative. I was saying that in the positive.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's.
What'd you do, Jim? Is it dehaze?
I did some dehaze, some clarity, some vibrance.
Yeah.
A little exposure and knock the blacks down a little bit to make the silhouette pop out. Just kind of going from so it's kind of a little flat looking.
Yeah.
There, just since you got these cool rainbow vibrant colors going on, I figure why not go ahead and make the colors jump out and pop since you've already got that all those vibrant colors there to work with.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks better.
I wouldn't have guessed that was yours, Susan.
It's new to me. I'm new to landscape.
I've never seen a lens flare that looks like that.
What?
I've never seen lens flare that looks like that. It's only like one or two lines coming through, but that is more of a really nice conglomerate of flare.
That's an alien. That's an alien landing.
It's nice. Yeah.
Did you put oil on the lens or something to get that effect?
No.
That's the coatings that are on all the lens elements inside. The surfaces of the lens elements have different coatings on them, and the light is bouncing around inside the lens. Off of the when you have a direct light hitting the lens like that, a direct strong light, then some of the light isn't transmitted all the way through the body of the lens to the sensor. There's light striking all the different surfaces of all the different individual lens elements in there and will bounce back and bounce around inside there. And then that's what all these things going on here is multiple images of the various elements, all the glass elements in there. And even if you take any lens, hold it to the light, at an angle and look, you see all these greens and purples and oranges and stuff in the various lenses that's from the lens coatings. And it has been, imaged from all the reflections bouncing around off the surfaces from this hard light source coming straight in and striking all the glass like that.
So what's the brand of the lens that created this effect?
Expensive.
It's a Sony lens.
Okay.
Yes, and it is expensive.
Right.
Jim, I have a question. why does the white part of the sun not show up on a histogram?
Does.
Because there's no data there at all.
It shows up as white.
Well, it is. It's actually, if you look where my arrow is, see this little last white tail right here, right where the two-headed arrow is? That is actually your sun right there.
Okay.
But comparatively, the number of pixels that make up this part of the sun, percentage-wise compared to everything else, isn't enough to necessarily make a spike like you would see, because it's actually a very tiny percentage of the overall pixel data in the image. So it's not appearing. You're asking why is it not a spike?
Yes.
Yeah, that's why. It's just because it's so small. It's a tiny percentage of the overall pixel data in the image. So it is appearing right there past the last of where the colors taper off. See there? And then you just see this little white area right here. That is your sun right there.
Okay.
And on the opposite side is your daughter.
And then there's the uncle.
So, but yeah, Susan is never in a box. Susan's always doing something different. Nothing's outside the box for Susan because Susan's never in the box.
That is so true.
What's your mantra, Robert?
I'm just looking at this this beautiful white border.
That's not white.
Robert, this is the first time I heard your black, white, gray thing.
I'm glad you followed it by white, gray.
Because we don't normally put the borders on. For some reason, several people did today. That's unusual.
This is my first time I put a border in. I'm still a rookie.
No, but I'm just saying we don't normally have them. And then today, what were there, 3, 4?
So
First time too.
now I do have a problem with images floating.
Yeah, there's no stem or anything like that. It's become very, very graphic and illustrative in a way by taking the stem away. As Robert says, it's floating.
Other than that, it's a really nice flower, though. You did a great
It's
job.
a beautiful flower.
Yeah. Now we could possibly eliminate that effect Robert's talking about.
Right.
Robert's favorite stuff.
By doing this.
Yeah. Oh man, now you have what is known as a winner.
Yeah.
Now it's not floating anymore. Now look at that.
Yeah, the
Yeah, okay, yeah, that's definitely
and
impressive.
the focus on this are great.
Yes.
Yeah.
You have
great detail.
Yeah, that's
great
what we're here to
depth,
learn.
great lighting. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, beautiful lighting. You have an award image there.
I'll take it.
No, you won't, because you put that yellow border around it.
All right, Jim, we're in this together.
All right, we're done.
And there we go. We made it. 9:17.
Hey, Jim, when I first joined this club, I got so sick of Robert always cropping my photographs and them look better than the way I had them, and thinking, why didn't I see that when I was at home?
And now you do.
I do a lot better now, yeah.
Yeah. Very good.
Great night. Thank you.
Well, thank you guys. This is a great night once again. I think these things just get better and better.
When did Kathy Porupski join?
A long while ago.
Yeah, she's been on for a while, I think.
Oh, I hide everybody when you're showing photos.
I've been
Snuck in.
here.
She snuck in.
Okay. How you feeling, darling?
I'm feeling okay, Les. Thanks for asking.
Okay.
I see you tomorrow night.
Okay. Speaking of sleeping together.
That is right. We're kicking Lee out of the bed.
Ooh. Ooh. Brian,
Y'all have a good one.
Brian, if you go to my Facebook page, you'll see some of my images.
Okay, I'll check them
Oh,
out.
and look me up on Instagram. You'll see some there as well.
All right, I'll check it out.
Yeah.
Speaking of seeing all of you, I gotta go.
Say again, Victoria.
So it's been good seeing everyone, but I have to get going.
Okay.
All right,
and we go.
Victoria, take care.
All right. Take
Good
care.
night, everybody.
Good
Thanks
night,
for being
everyone.
here,
Good night,
everybody.
everybody.
Good night, John boy.
Looking forward to next week.
Hey,
All right.
Robert, could
Yeah.
you
Night,
repeat?
Grandpa.
Could you repeat? Ling said, "What meeting when?"
Meeting?
Next time.
Next
Oh,
Friday,
next week. We meet next week.
our regular Friday meeting, next week.
Good night,
You said near your house.
Oh, I'm not.
No.
We're just talking about it. Barbara. We're having a meeting near my house. That was Robert trying to get to my house.
Oh, I got it. Thank you.
All right. Good night, folks.
Good night.
Good night. Say good night, Lucky.
Bye, Lucky.